Welcome to Uncorked and Unscripted, the podcast and video series that gives you VIP access to the unscripted stories of people I've met through events. In this episode of Uncorked and Unscripted, wellness icons Chris and Annie Mello join us to discuss business as a couple, bringing back recess for adults, and their new gym opening in downtown Sioux Falls. Now, uncork your favorite beverage and listen up as we spend the next half hour, plus 15 minutes, unscripted. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Uncorked and Unscripted. I am Addie Graham-Kramer, your host today. We've got our friends Chris and Annie Mello from CPM Fitness and Sioux Fit here with us today. And I will tell you, I have had the opportunity to know these two individuals for over a decade now. Know a lot of personal things from Annie. Chris, I know a lot about you. But we have had the opportunity to share a lot together, from entrepreneurship to motherhood to parents to a lot of different things, sports, just a whole lot of things. But welcome to the show, Annie and Chris.
Thank you so much for having us, Addie.
We're excited
so
to
be here.
We are thrilled to have you on. But for those that are not familiar with either of you two or CPM Fitness or the new Sioux Fit, why don't you just share with our viewers and listeners a little bit about you?
You're the opener, so go for it.
Oh, he does. He calls
time
me
to go
the
opener. Do it.
Yeah.
Opener, closer. Everybody's got one.
Well, going all the way back, we are from Southern California area. We actually met at the gym when we were 19. I was 19. He was 21. He was my personal trainer. And so I guess it was just in our blood from the start to want to help people with their health and fitness. So we both became trainers at a larger gym in college. We went to Cal State Fullerton. And so once we graduated, we just had this passion and love for health and wellness, fitness. And so we continued as trainers. And in 2007, we were living in Santa Monica, and Chris we had gotten married, and Chris had found a gym at the time called CrossFit. And now everybody knows it.
Yeah.
It's very common, but at that time it was not. And so he started doing it and really fell in love with it and wanted to make that his career. The guy that owned it at the time would walk around barefoot with like a shirt, like surfer guy. And he's like, this is amazing. Like, he's helping people. Yeah. He was super passionate. To this day, he's a great guy. And so I said, well, if you really want to do this, then we should not do this here. My family was all from Sioux Falls.
Yeah. Because you were born here, right?
I was born. Yep. We moved when I was 2.
Yeah.
And so he had never left for college. So in 2008, we took a leap of faith and moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and started our first gym.
And here you are.
And here we are.
Wow.
Yeah. We had that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we actually sold that gym and moved back to California for 2 years. And just really missed the Midwest. I think all of our family still lives in Southern California, so we just figured the gym was what was keeping us here. And then we realized, no, it was actually the people of Sioux Falls and the community that we really, truly loved and missed. And so we came back in 2013 and started CPM Fitness. So we will be on our 11th year in August, which is pretty exciting.
Congratulations.
Time flies, man. Time totally flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys started just shortly before we did, because we launched in 2013, but in October. So we were just very, very similar. I remember the first time that I had the opportunity to meet you, Annie, I think we met at Queen City Bakery and just started talking because we had some mutual friends together. That's when you guys were in downtown Sioux Falls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just been fun as your friend too, but just to see just people being able to evolve and grow and hardworking, intelligent, especially women, and just have each other to lean on and really share ideas with and thoughts and vulnerabilities and, even goals. Just having people, empowering women around you is just so vital. So for me, it's been such a gift too. So.
Well, thank you. Right back at you, babes. Right. Well, I want to, before we dive in, I know I want to share more of the CPM story, but I want to talk about FAM and community leadership and all that you guys are a part of, because you are truly the backbone of so many things in this community. And I feel like fitness and health are such a vital piece of all that we do to be successful community leaders, entrepreneurs, mothers, fathers, everything. So I want to dive more into that. But before we do that, we always ask all of our guests, because we are uncorked and unscripted, which there's no script. The uncorked piece of it is, if you were to be a beverage, what would it be and why? So like something that exudes your personality. So Chris, I'm going to start with you. If you were to be a beverage, what would you be? Can be alcoholic, can be not, can be milk, could be whatever. Actually, nobody said milk, I don't think before, but maybe, I don't know. But what would you be? What would yours be, Chris?
So I think I would actually be a drink that I've never even had yet, that I've always wanted to try.
Okay.
I would be a Guinness Nitro Brew.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm fulfilling like a Guinness.
Yeah.
But I'm high energy, hyper. That's where the caffeine would kick in too. So I think the combination would be electric.
Plus, you kind of have this dark moodiness about you.
Right.
Like not like moody, emotional moody, just like like moody, mysterious.
Contrast.
Yeah.
Contrast.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know.
Because I'm just like my son. I'm super serious, but I'm super goofy too.
Yeah.
It's just a weird combination.
Annie, would you think that of him, like from the Guinness piece? Would you agree?
As Mr. CPM, yes.
Yeah, the alter ego.
As Chris Mello, no. I would say he's like a cab. Like he's thick, he's smooth, he's chill.
And I like cab.
Yeah, he just, he's always like good, even keel, will always taste good. He's pretty consistent. But he's bold.
Yeah.
Like he makes bold moves and bold decisions, but he's definitely.
I'm a cab. Screw the Guinness thing. I drink cab too.
But I would say
I drink cab too.
As Mr. CPM, he's right on.
Yeah, I got two personalities.
I know you do.
I'm a split personality.
I've seen them both.
Kind of bipolar.
I love it. No, I don't think it's bipolar. I think it's eccentric. I think it's unique. I love it. I think you got two people. Yeah. My husband doesn't have Mr. Kramer, Mr. Drew, or any of that. Maybe he needs to take some tips from you. I don't know.
Well, I feel like it's like a role in business. Addie Kramer at event planning company is definitely different than if you and I are going for a walk on a Saturday. Sure. And I think that's healthy.
Yeah. I definitely think entrepreneurs need to have an alter ego for sure. If anybody does, entrepreneurs have to have split personality.
And now we have two beverages, but now we have two bevies. But
right.
What about you, Annie? What would you be like? What would describe you and your personality? And then I want to hear Chris describe it too, because this is actually fun. I love it.
Okay.
I would actually say I'm like a tequila blanco neat. So I am, it's the healthiest of liquors.
Low cal.
It's low cal. But I like no fluff. Yeah. I don't want a chaser.
No extra.
I don't want any extra. I want people to give it to me straight. Yeah. I'm direct. And it's like smooth. You can sip it, just kind of like take it all in.
No lime at all.
No, just I don't want any extras.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would think that she's very direct.
Mm-hmm.
She has high standards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't settle for less, which is high standards. And it's very honest. It's very upfront. And she doesn't screw it up. She can't screw it up. She says I'm consistent. She is.
Yeah, I know she is.
Consistent, all caps, for sure. Like she doesn't miss meals. She doesn't miss workouts. She doesn't miss deadlines.
Rowing.
She doesn't cancel.
All the things.
She is, if it's on the calendar, it gets done every day of the week, no matter what, Monday through Sunday.
But you both are like that.
Day,
I feel like you both are very consistent.
We've learned from each other over the years, for sure. Like we've definitely, our good habits have rubbed off on each other, for sure.
I would say that's one of the reasons he and I said when we were young, dating, is like nobody could outlast the other one in the gym. We would just be like there for 5 hours. It was like our fun. It was our hangout. Yeah. It was healthy. But we had never met somebody like that was so, at our age, that was so like driven, non-apologetic, was like, no, I don't want to go to a party. I want to shoot hoops like on a Saturday night. That's always been like our quirky nature, which is why I think in our relationship and in business, it works so well hand in hand, is that we just are each other's complement.
You gotta balance each other well. Yeah. Hey, what brand of tequila would you be though? I want to hear.
I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but it's called Herradura. So it's Herru. I think that's how you say it, right?
I don't remember. We could Google it.
It's amazing.
I've never had that. I've had a lot of tequila. You know that I'm a big tequila girl too, but I've never had that.
Oh, it's so smooth.
It's head and shoulders above the rest for sure.
Yeah, we did a tequila tasting in Riviera Maya. And
Fun.
I was like, what is this? It's
Maybe that should be our
amazing.
next girls' night with you, Liz, and I. Maybe we should do
Yes.
tequila tasting. I love tequila
that'd be
too.
fun.
One of the I shouldn't even say requirements because that's not appropriate. But one of the things we used to say when we were interviewing like new hires or interns or whoever to the team, and we would jokingly say it, would be like, if they meet our 3 T's, then they are in. Number 1 was tacos. Number 2, Taylor Swift. And this is before Taylor was cool.
Yeah.
Actually, we had 4. I think we had torn denim, and then the other one was tequila. Because I can't even tell you. I wish I could bring the can back to our break room, but there are bottles of tequila back there from gifts that people have given us over the years, from Patron Silver to Casamigos. There's so many different kinds, but I've never heard of that kind. I need to.
So good. I'll take a pic. I'll send it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, thanks. I love it.
So if we find it, we used to back in the day. This is pre-children. We would have a shot before we hit a flight. If we could find it,
awesome.
We'd have like a little shot and then hop on the plane.
Good for you. It's like your thing. Maybe we should do that. I don't think our producer would like that after or the beginning of every one of these episodes to have a shot with everybody.
A lot of podcast people do it. A lot of podcast people do it.
He drinks with all his
A lot of
guests.
people that have a lot of followers do it.
Well, note to self. But so tell me about CPM Fitness. And I just, not from my side, but I want to hear from your side how this came to be what it is, because I feel like it is a community staple. I know I'm a fan, and I know we've got a lot of people that are watching that are fans too, but it didn't get that way by accident. You have worked very hard. You've got great business coaches that you've worked with in Australia. You've got each other. You've built this community, but you refer to it as community. They're not just guests or whatever. Like, these people are part of your lives. You do a lot of celebrations together. Talk to us about how you've built that culture at CPM Fitness and what it's going to look like now into Sisu as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard to explain, I guess, but it's just a culmination of everything that we've learned and everything that we've started to be and become today. I look at the gym life as, for me, when I started, it was a very safe place for me. My whole thing was I had a huge athletic spirit growing up, and I shuttled it, which into basketball. So I was like where your boys were at.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't have a sense of who I was. I was very tall. I was very skinny. I was very awkward, but I was athletic, and I just wanted to be a champion. And I ran that as far as I possibly could. And then I started turning into fitness because I wanted to get better at basketball. So fitness became a tool to get better at my first love. But then when the first love stopped, fitness became the next love. And then I remember getting those first results, and I was 157 pounds. I was 6'3". I was a freshman. And I started lifting weights with the football team. And that was my first introduction to working out or fitness. And I followed everything to the T. And I remember in like 10 weeks, I gained 12 pounds of muscle. And I was a completely different person.
Was that intimidating to you at first, though, to be, I don't want to say shrimpy, but you're just totally different.
I just remember I would slouch on purpose when I was growing up because I was always taller than people. I didn't have a sense. And then once I started lifting weights and the muscles grew, the confidence just was baked in and came. And I just felt like a whole new person, and I just wanted more. So, that's where fitness was born for me. And then it just kept escalating. I was reading magazines. I started going to a gym. I got a job at the front desk. Then I met Annie. She was my 3rd client ever. And I just wanted to keep learning more, and it helped me become the best version of myself.
And I think, I was just going to say, and I think from a community aspect, what really drives Chris and I is we saw people making fitness a chore, not enjoying it, not even doing what they wanted to do, doing what they had to do.
Sure.
And that's why the wheels fell off, is because Chris and I took it back to basketball. We were both basketball players. And what made it fun was the community.
Right.
Like for me, it was like the girls' road trips, just like probably for your boys, like eating iced animal cookies, and everyone had like their stuff. Like that was like the fun part, is giggling, having the inside jokes, and not making people feel left out, but you felt like a part of something.
Yeah. Right.
And so we wanted people to feel like they were a part of something. And Chris liked to use the term adult recess. And I think it's the perfect way to put,
Yeah.
like, I want to have somebody come in and they get a nickname. I want to
Yeah.
know, oh my gosh, they're about to lose their job at work, but they're still coming here
Right.
because this community and this family is here to support them. But that also means that we're probably going to change your workout for the day and maybe just give you a lot of love and not so high intensity. You know, just like all these things
Yeah.
is where Chris and I really thrive on is it's more the mindset piece for us. And I think in the 20 years, now 23 years that he and I have been in this community, it was a big piece that was lacking.
Yeah.
And people were doing things because it's what they thought they should do.
Right.
But nobody
because-
was getting inside of them to
Yeah.
be, but what do you want to
Well,
do?
And that's the thing. We've realized over the years that fitness is the one thing that changes everything. It changes your body. It changes your mood. It changes your energy. It changes your mental
Everything.
state.
Yeah.
But it changes your job, like peak performance in the workplace. It changes your family life. It changes your marriage. It changes everything. Your body is a machine and your body and your mind is a tool. So if you sharpen those tools, everything else in your life gets sharper, gets better, gets more fulfilling. You know, the whole thing, we always say it, when you're in an airplane and they're doing the emergency stuff, when the masks fall, put your mask on first so you can help other people. It's the same thing with your physicality.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of everybody else. But there's all these canned excuses why I'm too busy, or there's not enough time, or there's not enough this, or I'm taking care of you're not taking care of anybody you're only taking care of people to the degree that you take care of yourself. And when you start realizing that, everything changes.
And you can only preach that so much but they have to want to do it. And I know you two have heard me share this before with my own personal journey, but there were many years in the beginning parts of our business where I was not focused on myself. I was focused on staff. I was focused on clients. Family came like in there a little bit, and I was always the last person to focus on sleep, eating, nutrition. I mean, all of it, working out. I mean, truly it all. But to me, when you had mentioned earlier in the beginning, Chris, it was like a chore, and I did not want to do it. And it was not fun either. And I don't care how we are active or what our lives look like. There is always some fun element into it, whether it's playing pickleball with Calvin or running stairs with Will or comparing like leg presses or whatever we all try to do together. But that's the fun part. And we talk about that with our boys too, with their sports. And I'm sure you guys will as well, as your boys continue to grow, of like, when it's not fun anymore, it's not fun and it becomes the chore. And you can still treat it like it's a job and own it. Like a lot of professional athletes, truly it is their job. But when it becomes not fun anymore and it becomes the chore, you dread it. You don't want to be a part of it. But it does impact all of those pieces of your life.
That's
exactly.
Every time
what
we
you're
meet
saying.
with people,
Oh.
they, one of the best, when they were their fittest is when they were a 3-4 sport high school athlete.
Yeah.
When they had the most fun in their life, they were in sports, in school, having recess. Like, exercise at its core level is play. And we need to move our body and express our body through movement. And that's when it releases hormones and it improves everything just by moving your body. We are built to move, not built to sit. And it's easy to get caught in the rut. And it's easy to get overcommitted. And it's easy to have the list pile up. And it's easy to have everything. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be worth it. Nothing worth it is easy, and nothing easy is worth it.
Yeah.
I even think with our boys, everybody asks us, like, what are they going to do? What do you have them in?
Yeah.
And Chris and I are very simplistic with our approach. And we want them in one sport right now, like having fun, seeing if they like it, and then moving on. You know, we went from soccer in the spring to tennis, and now we're doing golf. And then they'll go to basketball in the fall. And they both have asked. Luckily, they both are interested. But what we really want to, like Chris said, hone in on is that fun piece.
Right.
But like last night, we went for a little ruck, and they put on empty backpacks, and we walked 0.5 miles. And we were laughing, and we were skipping. They were playing like this Rocky soundtrack, running up the hill.
I love it.
And
But
it was just fun. It's not like, we're going to go do this.
Right.
It's like if somebody wanted to stay home, then I would have stayed back with one, and Chris would have taken one. It's just like kids. We want to treat adults like children in the sense of like, be playful.
Yeah.
Right. And respect that youthfulness in us all. And I think so many people, as we get older, we get so serious and stresses get so heavy. And like you just said, like your time management gets spread way too thin. and we lose us.
Yeah.
And so what Chris and I really wanted to do with our passion project is help you find the best version of you again.
Adults need to think like adults, but act like kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where the
totally.
magic is. That's where the magic is.
And you can still have the competitiveness. I am so competitive in all that I do, always have been, even with my own boys. Nobody is losing a game of life to me at all.
I love that.
But it still is fun. I mean, and that's the hard part where, you have to try to integrate some of that into the day, no matter how stressful it is. If it is 10 minutes out of the day, whatever it happens to be, whatever, truly, if it is fitness, if it's reading or I don't know what it happens to be, but there has to be that fun element. Otherwise, we just lose the sense of who we are as well. I mean, you get back to those basic roots of, the adult recess part of it. But I also love how you have focused on the corporate athlete a lot. And now with the new studio downtown in Sioux Falls, we are so excited. It is so needed back in this community again. And I want to hear more about how CPM has kind of shifted kind of some of that focus into the corporate wellness side of things as well. What's that look like for you?
So for Chris and I, when we moved here, for some reason, I feel like it's God. My mission and my passion project has been to help Sioux Falls be the healthiest city per capita. And I believe that there's 3 tiers that we have to focus on in order to do that, which is nourishment of the body, hydration, protein, the mental health, and then the physical. Not one being more important than the other. I mean, we always say what happens from here up
the Trinity.
is what usually happens from here down. So yes, mental health is number 1, because if you believe it, then you receive it.
Right.
So I have seen this, and what's really crazy, Addie, is we were driving away. This is probably like a month ago, and we had taken our general manager and another trainer to see the new gym. And she said, what's crazy is this is what your vision has been for 10 years.
That's
and
awesome.
It's like it took 10 years to come to this, but it's so worth it and so fun, and we've learned so much. So now we actually feel as gym owners we're ready. And we've heard corporate athletes' stories for the last 20 years, and we can relate. We are now corporate athletes as well. We have children. We have now 2 gyms. And where we feel we can make the biggest difference is in the corporate sector, where people spend their most time during the day. And most of the time they are malnourished, dehydrated, and sedentary. And it stems from the top. So if the leaders in our community aren't getting the help that they need, it's just going to trickle down. So that's where we really saw the vision is like, we got to help these people. And they're so much closer than they think.
And when you do focus on the top, it's magic.
Yeah.
It's like everything's a green light.
Yeah.
When you get the leaders buying in and being congruent with the message, it's magic how everything works and trickles down. Like there's 0 red tape. It's all straight highways, all green lights, all the way through. So that's why like going to the top is the hardest part, but it's the best part.
And it's been so special because Jeff and Ann, the developers of Sharapa, and my partners in Sisu, are clients of mine for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so they believe in the system.
Right.
And now Jeff has his grandkids working out with me. I have his wife. I train the whole family. And to see them evolve and continue to get better as they age, not worse. And once again, it's twice a week. Once is mostly mobility, and then one time is lifting weights. And we might shift a little bit, but it's so simple, but it's been so consistent. And he's like, I'm never hurt. I'm never injured. I feel great for hunting. All these things that as you age, you want to do more of. Golf for him, right? And just to have that buy-in and that belief is just so meaningful.
Well, like Chris said, I think, it all plays together, right? At home, at workplace, out in the community. It all coincides together. And I think when you've got these corporate athletes that are also incredible ambassadors of CPM Fitness in the community as well, I think that's another, eye-opening thing anyway to say, wow, maybe I should focus on myself. You've got different CEOs or different high-level managers that are a part of of CPM Fitness where they're walking the walk. Now, other people want to get in the mix as well. They become those incredible ambassadors of what you're trying to do, and you're continuing to do, and you're continuing to push the envelope in not just Sioux Falls, but really this whole surrounding community. Truly. It's not just a I'm going to come in, I'm going to show you my card, I'm going to get in, I'm going to do my 30 minutes of the treadmill or whatever, and then get out, right? You're building this incredible community, but you are part of their lives in so many ways and shapes and forms, from cancer diagnosis to births to or babies being born and all these different things. I mean, there's just so many pieces that you're a part of their life, but that's also exuded out in the community, I feel like, anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun, special project because we're creating a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And having a grocery store right there with healthy options, grab and go. Just making it a one-stop shop, so you don't necessarily feel like you're in Sioux Falls, but you have like the community of Sioux Falls all there working together. And so I was bought in 100% because I feel where a lot of the wheels fall off is when you have to go to the east side for a PT, or you have to go, get your groceries out on the, you're like, well, I'm home now. I'm not going to, work out. I don't want to. So this way it's like, oh, I can get a 30-minute workout. We're trying to really cater most of our workouts to 30 minutes, making time a priority for people. And integrating all different aspects from a longevity perspective, from a health and wellness perspective.
All of it.
And from, and it's like you can't lose.
Yeah.
And so that's why we feel this is so special.
So with Sisu, like, how are the boys, like, I know they're young. How old are the boys again?
5.5.
Yeah.
5.5, they have to say.
Half.
So.
And tell everybody they are twins, which is great.
Twin boys.
Yep. Tell us a little bit about, like, even Jackson's reaction, or like what is their reaction to the new location? Like, I want to know, like, what are they thinking? Because the reason why I say that is if you follow Chris or Annie or Mr. CPM on any social platforms, Insta, you'll see that the boys are actively involved at the gym every now and then. They're rolling around, they're jumping this, they're poking around, they're doing sit-ups. I mean, they're doing so many different things, but what's their take on the new location too?
We actually haven't really made it a big deal.
Okay.
I don't even know if I've told them that it's opening.
Wait, it's still in construction, so there's nothing visible.
We did actually. We went down there for the loft tours. They came and met us, but I feel like it's really like Chris and my approach is just. I know you and Drew are the same. Like, we just don't really make big deals about it. It's just like this is just our job. I mean, I would love to hear what they tell their teacher we do. I don't, would that be funny? Like, to hear when
what grade
when
are
the
they
boys,
in for everybody that's listening?
They're going to start kindergarten.
Yeah.
But it would be pretty funny to hear if you ask them, like, what do your mom and dad do?
Yeah.
Maybe they'd say work out all day.
Our boys, I remember Will at one time, because they have like this might have been kindergarten or first grade, but he just said, my mom throws parties and helps people. That's what she does, which I mean, kind of cool. Yeah.
That's a good brand.
This is kind of my little dream when they go to kindergarten. What does your dad do? Well, my dad does handstands. He mouth tapes. He takes cold showers. And then every time I wake up out in the garage and he's on the assault bike. Like, that's what I want him to tell everyone.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we try, just like you guys do, is like, I try not to bring that intensity to them.
Yeah.
And I always say it's a swinging pendulum for sure as parents, especially as entrepreneurs, as you know. And there's days that I rock as a mom, and then business is going to take a little bit of a side.
Yeah.
And then there's days that business rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
it's just
the
parenting
seasons. Wasn't. But then in the end, it all evens out.
Yeah.
And we really once we get them home, it's just about play and about them. I'm never, and I might say mom has to finish up a couple emails or
sure.
Yeah, we're just honest. But I think one of our family core values we do with our family, but with everything, is we practice and do a really good job of underestimating the short term so that we can overestimate the long term.
Yeah.
And for example, with the
Good
kids,
point.
like with sports, you know what I mean? We're watching a lot of people run their kids around, 3-4 sport athletes, and they're 6 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so we know what you can do when you build a foundation with your body, with your job, with your life. Like, especially in the fitness space, it's way too easy to overestimate the short term. That's what everybody needs. Yeah. Everybody does.
Right. I want to do it now, but in the next 2 weeks, I need to do
30
this.
30 days, 30 pounds, 30 minutes, 8-minute abs.
Yeah.
But if you just know that you keep it simple, you keep it direct, and you know it's going to be impactful, we want to overestimate the long term. Yeah. That's the key. And because there's so much potential that people are leaving on the table because they put too much in the beginning and not enough in the middle and the end.
And I think
so we're doing that with the boys.
I think that we're pretty blessed too, because we waited 10 years to have children.
Yeah.
And so we get to see
Right. That
people
focus
like
is different.
you or really special people in our lives be like, don't sweat that.
Yeah.
Or
like the
for me,
makeout
like,
sessions in your basement.
I'll
on
probably
a
sweat
Monday
that.
night.
I might sweat that. Monday makeouts.
Not happening.
Yeah, I know.
give you
But
all
I
the
think of
tips.
these like, okay,
Well, I'm just going to take
enjoy
all the doors
5,
off
right?
the house. There's going to be no doors. There's going to be no chair, no couch.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, it's going to be super inconvenient.
Here's
to
the
make
deal.
that
You
happen.
have double trouble. That's all
know.
I'm going to say. So,
And one's going to always cover for the other one.
Oh, of course.
It's already starting to happen.
My one son got in trouble on Sunday and Jack, my older, who is definitely the older, said, Mom, you didn't have to do, I called Chris about something, but it was to tell him don't take him to the park because they got in trouble. And he's like, you didn't really need to call Dad. You could have just handled it yourself. Or he'll like,
Snap, Mom.
I know. And they're very respectful.
Oh, of course.
And
but
he was
It's just their
He was
personality.
trying to be like the
Yeah.
firstborn, like protect his brother. Like,
Yeah.
Mom. Yeah. Or they'll be like, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. I'm like, well, I
Don't
saw
say
him
anything.
do it. So.
What about I wrote down a little note here. Mouth taping. What is that? I heard you say that. I've never even heard of that. What is that? I don't even know. Is that hip? Is that a new thing, or is this?
It's starting to gain some traction in the fitness space.
Okay.
It is, in my opinion, the simplest biohack of probably all the hacks out there.
Wow.
I heard in a Joe Rogan podcast a few years ago, and basically what it is you're supposed to breathe in and out of your nose. And it's really easy to breathe in and out of your mouth because it's more convenient, more volume.
Oh yeah.
But what I did was I heard this guy, James Nestor, talk about it. And you take a piece of tape, like painter's tape, or even like waterproof tape.
Okay.
And you just do it like a stamp and you pinch your lips
Just over
together.
this part.
Yeah, you just pinch your lips together and you wear it when you go to sleep at night. So it just consistently reminds you to inhale and exhale out of your nose.
Interesting.
And because your nose, your nostrils and your nose hairs are filtration system. It heats air up, it filters it, and then it releases it out. But just doing that at night has been a game changer for REM sleep, for allergy relief, for everything. So
Annie,
now,
do you do it?
No.
it sounds really kooky.
I don't do cold showers.
Here's the deal, though, Chris. Okay, yeah, you
I'm the
both. Hold on.
biohacker.
You both. Yes, I agree. And Chris, you have how many years of cold showers?
Oh gosh,
A
I think I
long
started
time.
in
When the
Christmas of 2017.
But it's you track
I don't
it.
miss.
It's all
I
tracked.
don't miss.
All
I don't
tracked.
miss.
And
Yeah.
Miss Annie over here, she is also very diligent. I mean, this is a rowing beast. I mean,
Not
she's
on that
tracked.
side. Not that side, though.
No.
Not the biohacking.
We pick our habits.
They just actually, it's funny you say that about the boys. They just asked me yesterday, Mom, do you take cold showers? I go, no. Mom's not into that. Why not? I said, because Mom likes the heat.
do people this okay, so I truly know nothing about this taping, but it sounds really interesting. Do people tape when they work out then too? Because you know how so many times when you work out, like, well, me, for example, like you're just like,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
I feel that's going to be sounding really bad when they edit
So-
here in a little bit.
No, yeah.
It's just like, but
You would do it if you're doing aerobic work.
oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily
lifting
strength
or
training,
yeah.
not
Okay,
anaerobic
okay.
stuff. You would do it with if you're going to go for a
Interesting.
bike ride or you're on the treadmill, but you're keeping it in a lower intensity.
Sure.
It's a great biohack for that too. I do it every morning. I just keep
Wow.
I sleep with it. And I just go right to the bike, just keep it on, just bang it out, and then take it off and hydrate.
And I mean, you do a lot of really cool challenges though at the gym. And that's the thing I think that also you don't have to be a member. You just still bring community together. And that's what I think the awesome part of it is. You've done rowing challenges, you've done nutrition pieces, you've done different classes. You're doing the rucking, 30 days of rucking right now.
Yeah.
What's rucking for people that don't know? Because you mentioned it with the boys here last night too.
Yeah.
It's weighted walking. So
Yeah.
you basically load up some weight in a backpack or a weight vest and you go for a walk.
Yeah. And you're doing a
And
30 miles, right? Challenge?
30 days. You want
Yeah.
to accumulate 30 miles in 30 days of rucking.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple, easy, and fun.
Yeah, easy.
And really open it up. So July is the most traveled month for most
Sure.
people.
Sure.
And we wanted to work with it. And we thought this would be a great opportunity. Everybody has a backpack. You
Yeah.
throw a couple books in there. I'll sometimes just put on I have like a purse backpack. I call it like chic ruck.
Yeah.
But I have my laptop. And so if I don't
You're
always have
always with your backpack, girlfriend. Always.
I am.
That girl's like a machine with her backpack. Everywhere she goes, always.
Well, it started when the boys were babies because
I
like you
know.
needed all this
All
stuff.
of this
And
stuff.
I didn't want 18 bags.
Yeah.
And then it just works now.
Yeah.
It's easy. So, yeah.
Will
and
you
it
do
just
some of
has-
these same challenges at Sisu as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sisu's
Awesome.
rucking.
Yeah.
Yep. So Sioux actually rucking as
Okay.
well. And we're going to start incorporating Thursday classes for like all on campus. We're going to be doing once a month events.
Oh,
So this
fun.
next one will be like July 18th. There'll be one in, August 1st, there'll be
Okay.
one. And it's going to be basically like a party to end the ruck and celebrate everybody.
Awesome.
And that's another piece that Chris and I really want to make sure is everybody's getting celebrated because
Yeah.
we don't celebrate each other anymore.
Yeah.
And small wins on a long-term scale are big wins.
And it's a big difference between recognition and validation is two completely different things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you recognize people for courage, for challenging, for participating, for getting out of your
Right.
comfort zone, it's a
Right.
completely different ballgame. And that's what everybody doesn't have these days is getting recognized.
Yeah.
Having a system or support a community to recognize people.
So we got sponsored by Element.
Awesome.
So they're going to be
So fun.
sponsoring the whole event and the party. And then we're going to bring like mocktails and cocktails
So fun.
and have Protein Bites are sponsoring us. And we have $2,500 giveaways from
So
different
fun.
and different local community
Yeah.
businesses too. So now we're all doing it together. And it just comes back to Chris and I's number one drive always was being with a team.
Mhm.
And when you felt alone, it was boring and it was lonely. And when you feel like people are encouraging you from all around, it's empowering for everyone. And so we want to continue these events once a month, and they'll be focused differently. So one
Good.
might be more of a mental side. We just did a breath work. One might be a learn how to like healthy items in a grocery store,
Oh, yeah.
what to have at your desk.
And will they be at both locations then?
No, these will just be
I'll be
on
at CC
campus.
On campus.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
But obviously CPM can come down and
yeah, and I think,
join.
over the years though, I've seen, even at CPM, you've hosted so many fun activities there, and it's the celebration that you talk a lot about. I think that is probably the most attractive, truly. And kudos to you both. It's not easy at all. And I know you've worked so hard over these years to build it. And I personally am excited to see it now in this downtown location of Sisu. So
Yeah.
Sisu, so. Sisu, so.
Sisu.
Sisu. What does Sisu mean? What is the meaning behind that name?
It's of Scandinavian descent, and it means
Okay.
perseverance, determination, and grit.
Wow.
And those are the three elements that Chris and I really feel
Awesome.
can evolve you
Yeah.
as a human being in life. And that's really what it takes to continue to elevate and grow. And
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Timeline of opening? Like, I know this is such a...
September 1, girl.
Hey, that's my birthday.
Birthday party, workout.
Birthday. Wow. That's going to be so awesome. And you're doing little things happening up until the opening,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what's going to be great, it's 5,000 square feet, and we're offering a plethora of health and wellness ideas. So we have a traditional gym model,
Sure.
but we also have like a 10-person sauna. We have
Wow.
really, really
That's a
nice
party.
locker rooms.
You talk about party and celebration, the 10-person
I know.
sauna. That's a party in there.
We have an all virtual room, which I had never seen yet with the 3 elements combined, where it's going to be like a plug and play. So say you want to bring you and your coworkers, or you and the girls wanted to come down from event planning and you want to do a 30-minute yoga, then you would just plug and play 30 minutes.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. And so what's nice is then you can cater. There's 26 different types of subscriptions. So there's bar, there's boxing, there's HIIT, there's yoga, there's cycling. And so then whatever you're feeling in the mood for that day, people can just do
That
on
is
their
so
own.
exciting. So, I travel, as you know, a lot all over the country.
Yes.
And I was at a Westin in Chicago. I don't know, maybe it was last year. I can't remember. But that was the entire, they had a few people in the gym. They had a couple TRX trainers and things like that. But they had multiple rooms that were dedicated to that virtual piece of it.
Mhm.
And they're packed. So
Yeah.
kudos to you guys for bringing that to the market. That's awesome. That's
Thank you.
exciting.
Yeah, I was just in New York
Love
in
it.
April because I wanted to solidify that this was the way that
Yeah.
we were going and this made sense.
Right.
And so I got to see 6 or 7 gyms in about 4 days.
Wow.
And it was really fun to see that in some ways we are ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And that was refreshing and fun. And then just to get to see little pieces, as you know, as you travel around the U.S. too, of what people are wanting and where is fitness growing and evolving. And I know for Chris and I, that's something that what excites us so much as entrepreneurs in this craft is like, it's always evolving.
Yeah.
There's always something great and new. And then as you know, it also comes full circle and the old things start to become good.
Oh, yeah. It all happens.
But it keeps it fun.
Are we going to start, Chris? I can easily see you being like a Richard Simmons workout in the short shorts. Maybe that will come back as another trend.
Yeah, I gotta change
the hair.
my training
You've got some of the hair that might work.
I got the hair. I gotta change the training program a little. Probably gotta work on the thighs a little more. Do like a quad program for a while.
Oh my gosh. Can you be that for Halloween this year? Or have you
could.
already been
I
Richard
have.
Simmons? Oh
We
my
have.
gosh.
Yeah.
No
Richard
way.
Well, not Richard Simmons,
We were
but
gladiators.
we were aerobics instructors.
Oh, yeah, we were.
When
80s
we
aerobics.
moved here. It's on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
2008.
I'm going to buy you the shorts. Will you do it if I buy you the shorts?
I
I'm going
had-
on air.
I had the fourth grade short. I had fourth grade shorts. I still was able to wear it. 28
They're
years
back.
old.
I'm telling you, my baller
Yes.
boys at home, the shorter, the better. Like they are.
It's so funny.
It is weirdly bizarre. I mean,
It's-
thankfully we don't have the tall stripes
Yeah.
on the sock or the socks band or whatever. They still wear the tall socks, but those shorts, they love them so short. And I'm like,
So
I'm
funny.
gonna see things like they're too
Yes.
short.
One wrong turn.
We're back in
One
the
wrong
80s, man.
turn.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. On that note, I always end every episode by pulling a question out of these cards. So Ariana, our producer, has these questions. I have not seen them. I'm going to shuffle them up a little bit. Some,
Okay.
the ones that we've asked are pretty interesting, but I'm going to ask each of you a different question.
Mhm.
Never done that, but we're going to do it. Okay. First one, I'm going to Chris.
Oh boy. She's the opener. Got to go her. She warms me up.
You got this.
All
You
right,
got it.
let's
What
do
was
it.
the best vacation that you ever took and why?
She answers these better than me for me. I'm going to think the one that sticks out in my mind is when we got to go to Maui twice in 6 months.
Oh,
So we
That's
had
fun.
really, really great friends when we got engaged, and he was from Maui. So we developed this really strong friendship. They came to our wedding, and they gifted us their condo for the wedding present.
wow.
So we went to Maui for our anniversary,
For a
or so
honeymoon.
our honeymoon, and then 6 months later they got married in Maui. So then we went back
fun.
to their wedding. So I mean,
Mhm.
it was classic. However you think of Hawaii,
Yeah.
it was classic. It was just
Fun.
really awesome, and we were so excited because we were starting our life together, and we had all these hopes and all these dreams,
Mhm.
and we were just in paradise for 2 7-day trips. It was so much fun. That's the one that
Good
sticks
for
out in
you.
my head.
Good for you.
Agree.
Okay, Annie. Last but not least. Oh, this is a fun one. What's your favorite family tradition,
Mm.
either now with the boys and Chris or growing up?
So I'm a
Favorite?
huge traditions girl. So the one that I say is probably everybody would agree with is Christmas Eve. We do a huge Norwegian dinner. Always. We do Swedish meatballs. We make lefse. And
Only like 2 people eat lutefisk.
lutefisk, me and my grandpa who's now passed. So probably just
is
me.
that the jellyfish stuff?
It's in cod
jelly.
and lye.
Yeah.
It smells great.
Yeah. We sometimes do shrimp.
It's hardcore
now
Norwegian.
To replace that, but we put the party poppers on, and then what's really fun is for dessert they do a dessert called rissekrim, and it's a rice pudding. It's like tapioca pudding,
Okay.
and
With cranberry sauce, right?
lingonberries if you
Lingonberries,
want
sorry.
it. And we put 1 almond in, and you mix them all up, and whoever gets the almond gets good luck for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's a cool tradition.
Yeah,
How
it's
fun.
really fun. And now the boys know it's coming.
Yeah.
And then we go downstairs and open presents.
Oh,
And then
fun.
it gets super
It's fun.
competitive, and it's only going to get more competitive every year.
With the boys?
No, with who gets the almond, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's like do people still do the turkey bone thing, right? Where they pull is it turkey
Maybe.
bone? Wishbone?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
wishbone.
right. They do that.
I think they do.
we did
We
do
haven't
it.
done that. We did that when I was younger. I have not done that with our boys at all, but
Yeah, I don't do bone-in turkeys. I try to just get the breast.
yeah, I know. Interesting. That's a cool tradition.
Thank you.
It'd be fun to see if they carry it down to their family too, Huh,
Yeah.
how
I
cool.
bet they do.
Yeah.
Or their girlfriends will, that they make out with on the couch when they're
Oh
14.
my gosh. My kid's never
Yeah.
going to let me down. Let this go. It's going to be horrible, but he's not.
Just let him listen to this. That'll embarrass him.
Yeah, that'll
We'll
stop
see.
them for a
Oh
while.
my gosh. Well,
Cameras.
Just
It
start
is-
talking about him on your podcast. That'll stop.
I'm
a
actually
lot of
getting more
stuff.
myself right now. today is not Makeout Monday, but I want to thank you both for joining me today. I am so thrilled and so proud of you both. You are incredible leaders, incredible icons for this community, but also beyond. I think you're doing such great things. You should be proud of you. I know the boys are. I know I am. You've got a lot coming up here. So congrats to you guys and everything that's happening.
Thanks, friend. That means a lot.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
And thanks for having us on.
Yeah, we for those that are watching, be sure to tune in every other Thursday as we launch a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcast, you can find us on Spotify, and also YouTube. Until next time, we will chat with you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of Uncorked and Unscripted. Make sure to follow and rate this podcast wherever you're watching or listening. Stay connected with us by following us on social media at Uncorked Unscripted on Instagram and Facebook, and at Uncork Unscript on Twitter and TikTok. And if you really enjoyed this episode, do us a huge favor and send it to a friend. See you soon. Bye.